Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today I was going to show you a recipe keeper that I'm wanting to work on. This is a kit by Jewel Design, and this one is for my front cover, so that's why it's blank on the back. But you can see she's got these little writing areas. It's called Retro Recipe Keeper, and it's on her Etsy site. I think I had that one as an extra page for something. But anyhow, she's got 4 main colors in here. And I've went and got my pages all printed out. And I was going to show you some of the different styles that she's got. And this is really retro, I can tell you. But I wanted to thank everybody for coming to visit and seeing what I'm getting up to today. And I had a request on having more of these made for the shop. At least 2 more. That's all, that's all I'm doing right now. But here was actually the cover on the original, retro recipe keeper that she has on her site. I did it on this off-white cardstock because I didn't want it on white. I don't know why. But, I mean, all these beautiful little images and stuff are all throughout. So I need to cut that. I made that into a page. You'll see that on the one that I already almost finished. I love the canisters. This is actually made in a tab design where it's like a file folder. And there's nothing on the back. I did something on the back in the book itself. This one is as well is like, she made it to where if you were in your cookbook, these are like the tabs. And she's actually got another kit that are the retro recipe words. So you can get those as well. And you'll see those in my flip through. These were just my own pages that I had picked out that went with the colors as close as I could. And I did some splotch designs, and I did some stenciling and stuff like that. I just needed to extend it. Now, this is the cover I'm going to use for this one. And this is out of Carta Bella, Farm to Table. And I love these little stoves. Now, the back of this has got like flowers or something on it. Frying pans and rolling pins and milk jugs, all that kind of good stuff. A blender, mixer, mixing bowl. And then I'm going to put this on the front. And we're going to have to cut that down and everything. So that's in the future. This little piece too, I had 2 of these. So I'm going to put that in the center. And so we're not going to need any of this though. This is going off to the side. I'll probably cut this down and do this separate at a later date. But here's what I did on this one. Oh, before we get into that, let me do the sneaky peek of the day. I almost forgot. Y'all got to keep me up on that. We're almost out of sneaky peeks, to tell you the truth. They are getting down to the nitty gritty. All right, where did I get? I did that one. I did this one. This is the last one I remember doing. What's next? Oh, okay. This here is a little tuck. I don't know if I'll include that as a sneaky peek. All right. I guess I'll go to that page too. All right. This is a piece of vellum that was in an invitation kit that I got. And I think I've showed it before. I think the other half of it's back in here. But anyhow, I just put a word on it. I glued it up here and down here to where I had a nice little snug tuck for something to go in there. It doesn't have to be the size of what I've got, but that works pretty good. Plus, you can see what's underneath of it. And then it had flowers on it. This was something I got from Scrapbooking with Me long ago, one of the freebies. And this here is a little tuck right there. It's one of the journal cards from the kit, the Flower Market Blue from the Journal Boat. And then I glued that little egg saver thing down. I love this little guy. And I made it a tuck. And I had a little string of, I guess it was burlap or something. And this was something from my lighthouse journal that I put down there. This was from the kit, so I added that to the side to dress it up. And it pulls in that darker blue over here, which I loved. Okay, there's your sneaky peek of the day. Now with this topper, or this journal cover, it was a little different because I didn't like the vegetable the vegetable inside. So I took this, looked like a blackboard, like you'd write, recipes, or not recipes, what's on the menu kind of a deal. It's from a Coffee and Me page or pad that I have. I wasn't going to use it for anything, so I said, I'll just do that on the inside. And then here's where I've added the, I guess where you'd write your recipes from her kit. And then I added a few little other things from the kit. I don't think I had that printed out, did I, to show you? Oh, I didn't have any of the pockets and stuff, but you'll see them in here. I'm sorry. And a few of these other stickers, they're from the Carta Bella pad. But there's a magnet in here. You can kind of see them right there. And I tried to hide them as best I could, but you can hear them. You can hear it clicking. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sewing in to the signature right there. And let me open this up and show you what all I got in here. So it has this big one that I said was the cover. And then on the back side of it, this strip here is part of the ephemera. So I made a tuck. Here's the baking word. That's part of her words that she's got also. This one is one where you flip it around and you've got the writing surface here, and then you have a little picture there that I really liked. And then a lot of these other things, this was from the Carta Bella pack, but the rest of this is from hers. The jewel design. And then here I decorated up this edge because I can never get the white off. So I kind of decorated it up to take away from it. But the way I did this, remember the two that you had separate? In my original one, I hooked them both together with some washi tape and put them in the center. This time, I made it something a little different. And I used one of the pull tabs she supplied and the pies. And I made that into like a little pocket. So you're able to write a big recipe on there and then tuck it back inside. I really like that idea. Here was just a little cluster with cupcakes. I don't know. I almost have like dessert through the whole book. So it's not gone any rhyme or reason. I can tell you that right now. Now, this is another one of her little books, and I left it open instead of gluing it shut this time, just so you had extra room to write. And I put a few index cards in here as well. This is one of her double pockets, and I extended it. I made it wider than the way she's got it made, just so the index card would fit in there. And both cards would fit in there, and I could tuck that up a little higher so you can see all the goodies. Okay, here's one of my pretty teal pages, and I did a little stenciling on there to kind of reflect the squares that's on here. And then I found this one that in that Coffee and Me pack that went really good with this. I said, ooh, keeper. And then on the back it had gray. And so I've got one of the little recipe cards here, and I left it open as well. And then gather at our table, and I put that in here. I'm famous for mixing. I'm famous for mixing my 2 packs, 3 packs, 4 packs, whatever you got. Here's one of her pockets. I've got her little, instead of me fussing cutting these things out this time, I punched them out in a circle as much as I could. Here's this, and then I'm crazy about this from the Carta Bella pack, and it's got chicken wire on the back of it. And this was the back side of that. So you can see I just took a ripped piece of paper, and that's what that one plain one was for on the back. And I'll do like that. Actually, I think that goes in the front. I love those old tins. We had a ton of those. Now here's just a little side tuck that I made, and it's got that inside of it. And then this as well is another little tuck with another. And I'll leave most of these open because you don't have that much room to write. Recipes have got all kinds of convoluted instructions. Okay, this little piece here is another index card, and I got smart and put that on the back so you had the lines to write on the front. And I had like some little honey things left over, so I stuck those there. And then we're getting to the inside. Here's a big And you can write on all these. I made this to be like a journal, but it's actually, you know, a recipe keeper. You can do anything you want. Now this will be sewn in right there into the signature. I made it a pocket here, and there's farm to table, and I tucked it there. And then you do whatever else you wanted to on this side. You might want to write a recipe on that side. And then it closes. I've still got to put the string here, but this is like a policy closure. And it just keeps going. I try to decorate up my edges. And here's something with Farm Sweet Farm. You got your little critters. Made a little tiny tuck for that to be in. This is another one of the index cards. And see, I didn't think about it this time, and I put that on the front. But, you know, sometimes you don't need lines. And here, this had blender on it. I try to make sense with these things, and sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. Now, this red was really sticking out, so I stuck that on this side to kind of balance it. Oh, and then here's another one of those little cards that you can open. And I try to keep my little all my things together. Like this is the green plaid, so I try to keep that together. Now this here is another index card with dessert. Now you can still write on that one, thank goodness. And then this is one of those little cards, but it actually had a picture on it. So I stuck that, and then I extended this because that would have been, it wouldn't have fit. So I extended it by putting this little circle here and only gluing it on this outside edge. So see, that's how you can extend a pocket if you really need to. And I had to do that. And then this was just up here. This had something with hot cocoa or something on this page, so I kept that all together. There's the other side of that. This is a very simple card. I didn't have anything else to put on there. I may put a sticker or two. I've still got a few of those in the Carta Bella pack. Now here's another one where I extended out to the edge. And you can see. And then I love this little shelf here. And then this was a bigger fold out for recipes. I had two on each end. Two are here and two are on the other side. And I like this because this is also a page turner. I'm all into the page turners. Now see, that's the same thing here because we've got another one of those journal cards that's tucked in where I made this pocket. Now this brown I would have never been able to write on or use it for anything. So it really came in handy because it's got a brown dot. So it worked. It worked. And this is one of the writing pages as well. This here, I went with this crazy little orange starburst theme. And I actually did glue these together. I had accidentally printed a couple on regular old, you know, copy paper. So they weren't as strong. So I had to actually put those together. All right, so that goes there. That has cups. And then we're at the back. And it goes shut just like this. And I probably have to look at this to put this together. So let me set this to the side. Oops, sorry. I hit my gadget. It's a wonder it didn't hit the floor. All right, I've got 1/4 of an inch, I believe that is, in between. And it's close. It's close. And let me go ahead and get this cut down. I've got my scoreboard and my cutter over here. They've been through some rough living with me. And I usually don't do this over here because I'm afraid of wiggling this Swiffer. Didn't do too bad that time. All right, so this is 9 inches tall, I believe. Nope, I think it's 8 3/4. I didn't need it to be much taller than the paper. Yeah, it's just under 8 3/4, so that's what we're going to do. I got to get, it's directional back here, so I got to go this way. So, sorry, I got to open this. 8 3/4. And actually, one back. And I can make more pockets out of this strip. So always remember, see, I can go with that side or that side. I love two-sided paper. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. All right, so our next step is to score. I gotta get my score tool over here. Now, what I need to do first is see how long this is. Oh, that's right. I'm not going to be able to make pockets out of this because this is what I made as my extension here. Can you see how the... yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself already. So this piece is going to be scored right like 1/4 of an inch in, right here, or 3/8. I think it's 3/8. Let's go with that. So 3/8 score right there. And then we're going to not have to score it again until 5 3/4. So I'm going to move this over to there, because I don't have a long scoreboard, so I got to make do. So 5 3/4 is right there. And then we're going to do another, what did I say, 3/8 right there. Now see, this one I'm not going to be able to do a double with, so I'm hoping it's going to be strong enough. Okay, then this piece has to be scored because I used the whole piece, right? Yeah. So this piece has to be scored at 1/2. And I have to cut it off first too, don't I? So what did I say that was? It's this right here. It was 8 5/8. And I think I made a little pocket out of that. So here we go. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch. Right? Do I want 1/2? Yeah, I'm going to do 1/2 this time. I don't want it to be too big. I might come back and regret that, but I will fix that later on. Okay, let me get this out of the way. All right, let's see what we can do here. So first we're going to have to get all of our pieces and bend them. And this is the side it's got that on it. Yep. And I want my piece on the outside to be the pretty teal, of course. Didn't you know that? And then sometimes when you have trouble folding, you just use your ruler, and I'll fold up and rub it like that. And I'm going to do that again. And I sure hope these are straight. Oh. All right. Let me see. Yep. Then this part goes on here. Yeah. One side's got the one fold and the other side's got the other fold. So this is going to be on the outside. So I need to fold it up like this. Are you following? I know I have these convoluted ideas. Okay. So remember, we did 1/2 of an inch on this one, which was our cutoff. The pieces themselves are only 8 5/8. It wasn't quite 8 3/4. It was 8 5/8. So we got it up to there. This part here will be glued down to this piece here. And that's where you got your other gusset. These are our gussets for our page. That there, where the signature will be sewn in, and then this part here, which I think I'm a little off or something somewhere in that. I think what I'm going to do is refold it just a little bit better. I think the bottom part is good. You want to get this correct now. It's not me being fussy. You want to get it as correct as you can. And we're going to refold it right there. And I'm pushing down. I know that's in the way. Yeah. Did that help it? I think it did. I think it did. There we go. Yeah. Now this part's going to go on here. I think I'll make that the outside piece. And I hope I don't have any extra trimming to do. Okay. So I'm going to do this side because this is the shorter edge. And then we have a couple little magnets to put in here. Let's see how hard this is going to be. Let me leave it down. All right. I'm going to edge it up to the outside edge as close as possible. And then see what I've got. I think it was easier when I did it before, when I did that over this part. That may be what I'm going to end up doing, to tell you the truth. I can always do something there to fix that. Yeah. Let's try it this other way. Yeah, I think this is a whole lot easier. And I'm going to put something over here to hide that seam anyhow. Like I say, you want to try to get it close as possible. And then when it doesn't cooperate, go down with the... Ugh. Come on now. There we go. It'll fight you to the ends of the earth. There we go. Now. And once that art glitter glue goes down, it's down, so you're good. All right. Let me see what I got to do next. I know I needed to round the corners. It's going to go in like that. It's going to go in like that. Yep. That looks good. Now, I know my other one here is bowing a little bit, and nobody's even putting recipes in it yet. So, if you have a little bit of extra room, don't be sad. Don't be sad about it. Okay. Our next step, I had that extra piece, which is right here. And I think what I need to do is I wanted it to go here. And I believe I'm going to cut it and not have it wrap all the way around. I wanted it to be like a stronger section. But I also wanted to continue to the back side, which it will here. But I won't have that much after that. So that's okay. So let me go ahead and cut both of those. And we'll come back and see what we want to do after that. Okay, we have our two pieces cut. This one goes on the back panel. This one goes on the front panel. Now I've got these little magnets. And what we want to do is we want to put these magnets underneath of here before we do anything else. So what I need to do is probably find me a spot. Now, I wasn't crazy about how I did this because I had to hide it with the little pieces and parts there from the kit. So this time, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to find spots that I can hide that underneath of there without me all right, let me see. Was that right? Okay, this is there. That's there. And then I could probably put something on the very edge there, maybe to hide where the magnets will be then. I think I need to go in a little bit, though. I think I need to go here with the magnets. Then you just want to make sure they're about the same distance. So it's 2. What is that distance? 2 1/8 and a little bit more. Well, that's not in the right place. These lines on here are not in the right place with each other. They're a little squiggly. Okay, we're good now. Just double check your numbers. That's all I can warn you about. All right, so I've got these magnetic discs, and I got them from Scrapbooking with Me. But I may have got them from May. I mean, I know you can get them different places. They probably came from May. So what we want to do is we're going to put that down right there. It's got a nice sticky back, so you don't have to worry about that. Make sure you put you put the positives on the one side, and then the negatives will go on the other side. Okay. Oops. I was trying to pull the sticky off. There we go, right in the center. Now, what we want to do is we're going to put... I didn't go overboard, did I? No, we're just right. Now, I'm going to put my sticky glue on here, or glitter glue. I'm not going to worry. I haven't been doing very much inking in this. I didn't want it to be grungy as much as retro. So I've used a clean look. Did I wish everybody well and hope everybody was doing good? I probably jumped right into it and didn't even think about it. If I haven't yet, I really thank you for stopping by and visiting. What did I do with my... There it is. Oh, it's always interesting to get into crafting, and you just take off sometimes and don't pay attention. All right. I'm trying not to be over the edge over here. Yes, I want to be just right because I can trim off of this edge, but I can't trim off the other. All right, I'm going to rub all this down. Make sure our glue is holding down our edges. And if they're not, you can put more glue under there. I think I am. Because you want that to be sealed. Sometimes you just want it to be pretty well adhered. All right, I think I may have already glued that, and I didn't want that extra glue on there. And then I like to try to push around the outside edges. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to do the back side. And I need to have it try to go along that same edge that I used before. I'm just wanting to make sure I'm not hanging over. I don't think I'm going to, but I'm going to trim off just a little hair more just to make sure. Then I'm not. Always better safe than sorry. Okay, now we're going to go down with some more glue to continue our pattern. I know I saw this kit first on May made it, and I fell in love with it. I knew at one time I had planned to do a recipe book, and I thought, you know, those are things I remember from my past. And I said, I got to have it. So I never really did anything with it. It was the bad part. So I said, well, let me just decorate up my other 2 recipe books with it. Because retro is very popular. At least I think it is. All right. We still have to have the other 2 pieces here to go down. I need to round my edges here, so let me do that. I always like to have rounded edges on that part. All right, so what we need is our discs. Okay, the negative. Let me get those 2 out and watch this. Boink! You don't have to fight with where to put them. Now, I had to fight on that one. I didn't think about it correctly. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start it like right there. Start my little sticky to come up. Come on now. There. Sometimes they agree with you, like that one's not. Sometimes they don't. Oh, come on. There. It wanted to be hard to work with. All right, I'm going to put a few glue dots on this one because this... I may put something here, and then again, I may not. I just don't know. All right. Now, I want to have that equidistance where it's open. All right, oh, crap. Let me make sure I've got the up and the down part correct. Oh, well, I think we're good. I think we're good. If you're a little off with them, that's okay. They slide a little bit. And I'm going to get in here and I'm going to push them down. There we go. All right. So there's other little cutouts on the kit. And I'm probably going to get over here and do something with that in this area. And see, they're good holders. I don't even know if I'm going to probably cover those up. I may find something that I'll cover them up with eventually, but at the moment, I'm fine with them. I do want to do something to this to strengthen it and to make it, hide that little bit of glue that I left there. I also want to strengthen this one. So I'll have to find something in the kit to cover that up with. Okay, here we go. I've got all my pieces and parts ready. I cut this little piece off, little plaid piece. It goes in the kit, so all the colors will match. And I'm going to stick that on the outside here to hide these magnets. The flap was needing a little extra strength because it was the single layer of paper, unlike the other one. So that's what we're doing. We're going to give it a little bit of extra oomph. And I'm going to measure it out here to the edge. I've already rounded the corners so they match up. And we're going to push it down. Make sure everything's stuck. Really nice. Kind of push around those magnets just so you don't have a bubble kind of floating around in there. Don't want a bubble. And make sure your edge is down. That's the most important part. Now, I know these strips are not going to match up, but we're going to put one right here on the inside, one on the outside. So, we want 4 of them to be the same size, so about like that. So, we'll put this piece right here. I had little flower pots, or I had this, and I kind of like this. It gives a good contrast. All right, that's going to hide where I did that a little bit of gluing before, and this is going to add extra strength to our spine as well. I hope this wasn't too tedious and long going, or you don't realize how long it takes to do something until you get in here and you try to show somebody else how to do it. Have you ever noticed that? It just, when you do it the first time, like I was explaining this on my Rotus Junk page, I'll write all my happenings over there, and I'm saying what I was doing that day, or, you know, what I had realized when I was doing something, or share all the little goodies that I usually get up to. But I said, when you do it the first time, you're in the thrill of creating. You just don't realize how much time it actually takes. And then when you have to do it, it's like vacation's over. Now it's time to get back to work. So, yeah, it's exactly like that. All the fun's over now. Let's get back to work. All right, so now I need to trim these two little pieces off. It's hanging over. Got those taken care of. And the last thing we're going to put on here, and these pieces will go on my inside. These are my little recipe cards. I may, yeah, I'll probably just glue them straight down. I don't have to deal with what I had to with the other one. So those will just go straight in. So what I need to do is close my cover. And I decided on this to be on the middle right there. It says welcome. It's a picnic table. It's got a little bit of the red on it because you see the red oven there. It's kind of carrying all the colors through. And I thought it was a nice blend. All right. And I put a very, very tiny little bit of red border on this, just so you got a little bit of extra red. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I needed to make it. It was the definite thing I had to make. So that is what we ended up with. And that did add a lot of extra strength. If you're doing a single two-sided paper, you do need a little bit of extra in a couple of spots if you intend to do some of these. I mean, you can do a small journal in here. The two pages together makes a nice sturdy little journal. So you may want to go in that aspect, but I had forgotten where to put my magnets when I did this one. You know, I jumped ahead. Rush ahead, Rhoda. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming to visit. I hope you got a few ideas and another little idea for a cover for a small journal. But thank you for visiting, and come back again. Bye-bye.